Hello, everybody. How are you doing? This is Lance Tomashiro. Robert and I are super excited that you're here and super excited that you're here at a very special time today. Today is going to be a little bit different than most of the trainings that you have ever seen for us. First of all, we're going to be talking about our WP import plugin. We're going to be talking about some ways that you can use it that you probably haven't thought about it. And the whole goal with all of this is that we want you to start taking action that will move you and your business forward. But more important than just taking action is taking action that matters. We see so many people that are doing things that is just busy work. And what we want to do is to show you how to take action that matters so that you can have extra time to do other things while you actually start to make money. Because you can take all the action in the world that you want, but if it doesn't result in the results that you're looking for, well, then you've just wasted your time. So we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you took just a short amount of time out of your day today. And if you know where the question box is, you're going to probably really want to use it today. Find that question box and put action in it. And remember, we're not talking about normal action. We're talking about action that matters. So if you've got everything closed down, get a piece of paper ready because you're going to see some things that are a lot different than what we normally do. Looks like they found the question box, Robert, and show us about taking some real action today.
Awesome. I'm excited, and we have a heck of a lot of stuff crammed into this hour. And you know what, Lance? I mean, as you were talking, I was just, I was kind of thought back to this saying I used to have with people that I basically would kind of came up with online, all of us making money, and it was this phrase that was, well, that thing you just did, how much money did that make you? And it kind of frustrated a couple people that I knew early on because he'd say, oh, you know what, today I changed my blog theme. Well, you know what, today, I got some graphics made, and I said, well, great, how much money does that make you? And I mean, you're going to see it in today's live training that we have all kinds of websites that could be better, could be tinkered on, improved, could look better, but they still make us money. So anytime that I'm taking any kind of action, like whether I'm launching a product, presentation, fixing up sales copy, getting traffic, sending an email, what's always on my mind is, well, is this making me money? Well, if so, I'll do more of that. If it's not making me money, then I won't do that. Seems simple, but I mean, it really can be that simple. So we're going to get to 4 easy, quick, and permanent actions you must take this week to ensure a passive online income. And so as we're getting started, I have 2 pieces of information just to like slide in your brain really quick. The first one is that there's a news article that says the average American watches 5 hours of TV a day, and as you get older, that number increases. So I want to give you that information first. The second thing is that if you want to feel like time is not flying by you, well, then the answer to that is to take on different experiences and just have some variety in your life. So I'm going to give you those 2 things, and they're going to pay off later on in today's call. Because what I want to start off with is to tell you, well, how to double your lifespan. And this isn't like some health or magic thing. If you're feeling like you're always overwhelmed, running out of time, need more time in the day, the answer isn't to live to your 200 years old. It's to make the most out of the time that you have. And so what's unfortunate is that the typical person, and I mean, if this is you, I'm sorry. If this used to be you, then good thing it's improved. Most people are zombies, right? Most people are drifting from thing to thing. And you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, everyone on this call is above that because, well, you have taken at least that first step in knowing that, well, there's more to life than just putting in the hours, right? More to life than just going to work, sitting at the desk, wasting time. And so the typical person, and let's just call them zombies to be a little mean about it, well, they work 10 hours a day. And you might be thinking, well, that's not true. I work 8 hours a day. But if you factor in that lunch break when you're still at work, commuting to work, coming back from work, staying a couple minutes late, you pretty much work 10 hours a day. You add to that, well, all right, so let me just get the marker out here. So you got 10 hours a day so far. And then we said that the average person watches 5 hours of TV just to be generous about it. So 15 hours a day. But then that's waking time, right? And then you always need time to sleep, and everyone says that a healthy amount of sleep is 8 hours, and even if you only sleep 5, 6, 7 hours, there's still that waking up process. So let's just say that it's pretty much still 8 hours. So add all this up, and whoa, shoot, I'm spending 23 out of 24 hours a day on work, TV, and sleep. Not good. Things have to change. So how do we get more time? How do we squeeze more time out of the day? Because we can't get 25, 30 hours out of the day. How do we fix this? Well, the easy answer, I mean, I know that we'd all like to say, all right, we'll quit work. There you go, 10 hours right there. Can't really give up on sleep, but maybe you could reduce the TV time. And I'm not one of those people who say, you should never watch TV because, I mean, you do. And a lot of people that I know who say, I've given up TV forever. I go to their house and they've got Netflix, they got Hulu, they've got they cheat, right? Or even then they spend 4 hours a day in front of the computer watching YouTube videos. So, or they go and see movies, or they do Netflix, or all these different things. So we want to squeeze more out of that 24 hours a day. So even if you just reduce TV watching by an hour or two, well, how much would that add up to? 5, 7 hours a week, 365 hours a year really adds up. The best thing that's been working for me right now is waking up just an hour or two early. Just get on a better schedule. And I'm not saying sleep less, but shift your schedule a couple hours ahead of time because, I mean, you make your best decisions early in the morning. You literally run out of the chemical that allows you to make decisions throughout the day. That's why a lot of crimes are committed late at night or people have been awake a couple of days. So it's better to just get out of bed, get an early start. This is my best secret when I had to have a day job and build a business. And it's just one of those things where for a couple of years I forgot about it, rediscovered it, and I was like, whoa, if I just shift my schedule an hour or two earlier, I get so much done. And it literally feels like this last couple of days, couple of weeks of waking up early, it feels like by the time it's 10 o'clock in the morning, it's like it feels like the whole day has gone by. It's like I've got 2 days in one. By the time it's Wednesday, it's like it feels like it's Friday already. I feel like I've literally doubled my time. So if you combine a little less TV, wake up a little bit earlier, and then undertake whatever new activities. And I'm not saying you have to, go back to school or join a dance class, but I mean, do something different in the morning. I mean, some days I'll just hang back at home. Some days I'll go out to the store early, get some stuff, early on there. I'll take a walk, I'll go to the river, but mix up your daily activity because the people we don't want to be like are the 95 zombies. What do? They have the same thing for breakfast every day, take the same route to work every morning, go to the same dang job every day, take the same route home, eat the same thing for dinner, watch the same thing on TV. You don't want that. You need a little variety in your life, and it'll be great because just by mixing it up a little bit, by doing different things, you will increase the perceived passage of time. You'll slow it down and it'll feel like you have double the amount of time on your hands. And that's why Lance and I love to have this home-based internet business because on different days we do different things, right? We can do webinars on one day. We can fix up some sales letters, get into some traffic, do things with different niches. We don't throw out everything every day, but we mix it up enough where we have this freedom to decide what we want to do at any point, right? So I might get things knocked out in the afternoon, things knocked out in the morning. I can mix it up and it's a lot more fun. And so what you want to do is replace that wasted 10 hours a day, that 9 to 5 job with an income you actually enjoy creating. And I mean, you can argue this with me all you want, but there have been all kinds of studies shown that in a given day, you only really put in 15 minutes. And the unfortunate thing is, well, when you have an employer, you're still only putting in 15 minutes, but you have to waste 10 hours. And we've all done this, right? In corporate America, day job kind of stuff, we've all come to work 5 minutes late, waited for the computer to boot up, went and got coffee, went and talked to this and that person, went and checked our voicemail, went and checked our email. That's not a way to live, to fill up 10 hours a day. And so we're going to get you over that with 4 easy, quick, and permanent actions you must take this week. And you can see at the bottom, there's this web address, WP Import. It's no secret. We're going to be showing you a bunch of different things, and one of them is our WP Import plugin. I know you're busy, so we'll make this really quick. My question is, what's the one thing that every online business, including you, needs and wants? Whether you're doing this while you have a day job, this is brand new, you've been doing this 5, 10 years, whatever it is, if you can go in the question box and tell me, well, what do you need and what do you want in your growing online business? Because it always should be growing. What do you need? What do you want? Well, is it leads? Is it traffic? Is it backlinks? Is it customers? Do you need search engine rankings? Do you need traffic? Well, the answer is yes, right? So we want to reinvent ourselves in a couple ways and get to where we need to go. And we need all these different things. Someone says leads, traffic, and cash. And it's easy to get hung up on all of these, tools, possibilities. And what's even more frustrating is you're like, okay, well, I've researched, the right shopping cart, the right autoresponder. I've researched how to write sales copy, how to write emails, how to make products, how to take payments, how to do all these things. Well, now I got to figure out how they all fit together. I got to figure out how to make it so that, well, if I can turn on all this traffic, and then how do I get these Facebook fan pages figured out? Do I got to retweet this and Google Plus that? It's a big nightmare, right? So we're going to get back to that, but I want you just to get these 4 quick actions out of the way. I don't want to take the whole dang call to get 4 actions out of the way. The first thing is take care of yourself. The next thing is simplify. Have consistency and unpredictability. Sound like opposites, but they actually work together. And finally, use the right tool and just get it done. And I mean, the cool thing is your mental health is really important. So this is this place down by the river I go to sometimes. This is just around the corner from my house. I live right on the edge of town, so I can go and breathe some of that country air. But then I can walk down the street again and house and the neighborhood's right there. So that's where we want to be, is to have the freedom to get out of the house and do whatever we want in a typical day. So how do you get there? Well, we always hear these 2 extremes, right? We hear someone who says what you have to do is go public and get a venture capitalist and hire 20 employees and get an office. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in debt for 5 or 10 years. And someone else says, what you should do is just sell everything you own. Sell your house. Just go to Costa Rica, go to Spain, travel the world. And I'm like, well, I see all these pictures of you being goofy and climbing trees and stuff, but how are you making money? They won't tell you, will they? Interesting, right? But the reality, and what most people won't, the ones that are, I guess, quietly making money are the one employee kind of people, right? The other ones, they work from home, they don't live this flashy lifestyle. Because what's also hilarious is, this isn't everyone, but I mean, thinking back 10, 15 years, right? There were some of these big names out there 10, 15 years ago. You probably wouldn't recognize them now. And every now and then I'll go and look some of these guys up, and a couple of them go by different names now, but I added them on Facebook. And some of these guys who had 30, 40 employees back at day jobs, not really good. Some of these people who were, traveling the world, I found out later, sold a company, burned through their savings back at a day job. We don't want that. We want to do our money making tasks and get back to what matters. I mean, Lance and I were both just one employee businesses. He has his office, I have my office. We do things on our own, meet to kind of boost all that together, and then get back to what matters. We don't have huge warehouses, tons of people on the payroll. We just don't have that stuff. It takes a couple of days to get in that habit of waking up early, but once you do, then you will be able to make use of that decision-making power that was previously burned up. You get what we call your 4 daily tasks knocked out at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, and whatever else obligations you have that day, family, job, if you want to just hang out, retire, travel, whatever, you get those things done early on, then you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. I mean, a lot of what Lance and I do is just putting things in motion, getting traffic going, getting autoresponders going, putting up videos, and then just check back later. So what we're talking about is your brain, mindset, scary stuff, right? So first of all, an easy fix is be careful with the words that you say. Because here's the thing, if you analyze the words that people who make money use versus people who are just grumpy old poor people, they use very different words. And sometimes I find myself using words like work. Work's a bad word. Work means labor. Work means you have to sweat and, tire yourself. That's not a good thing. Try. Has anyone said, I tried to call you the other day? Well, did you try to call me? Did you call me? I didn't think it took that much effort to push a button on a phone. Or if you say, we're going to start getting some traffic, don't start getting traffic, just get some traffic. Or wait, or there's just a couple of words like these where if you remove them out of your vocabulary, then you'll actually think in a much better, healthier, more productive way. Be in a niche that gets you excited to jump out of bed in the morning. And for me and Lance, it's WordPress and software. And for some of you, if you're in organic gardening, guitar, learning a language, hypnosis, weight loss, real estate, stock market, whatever the heck it is, you probably have something like that. And I know it's discouraging when you don't have a list or you don't have traffic, you have these competitors, or you only have one product, but you need to be in a place that gets you excited and ask these better questions. Because if you keep on asking yourself, well, I got to figure out a way to pay these lousy bills. If we say, I wonder if I get a sale this week, well, that's not a question you want to ask, right? Because if you say, well, will I get a sale this week? If the answer is yes or no, okay, well, either I'll get 0 sales or best case, I'll make 1 sale. We don't want to ask that question. We want to say, how will I sell 1,000 copies of this plugin? How do I sell 1,000 copies of this book, this video? And you're not making an unrealistic goal. You're not saying sell 1,000 copies today, but how will I sell 1,000 copies in 6 months, in a year? Then any question you ask your brain and your subconscious, whether you know it or not, it will think of an answer for you. And then you'll make progress. Get these better problems. And so many people hold themselves back. This thing is called like something like they have 1 foot on the gas of the car and 1 foot on the brake of the car. And what that means is they get to $1,000 a month and then get scared and limit themselves and go back down to 0. We don't want that. We don't want to have these, big bursts and then go back to nothing. So people are worried about, well, how do I make the rent this month? Well, you're never going to always fix your money problem, right? Because that sounds boring to me. You're going to have new problems. So maybe you go from, well, I'm struggling to pay the rent to, well, cool, now I got a mortgage, or now I've paid off this property. Now I have to deal with this tax issue. And there's always going to be problems, but the thing is, us entrepreneurs, self-employed, and marketer types, that's what we live for. We live for breaking down problems and solving them. So speaking of that, action number 2, simplify. Pay down your debt. I'm not going to really get into like finance stuff, but you know these people who they have like a huge house, but it's an interest-only loan. They have a huge luxury, $120,000 car, sports car, convertible, and they're paying $5,000 a month just to basically rent the car. You don't want that. It's too much to clutter your head and get you worried. You need a clear head. And I like to do this thing called live below your means, which means that could I have a huge house, a bigger house? Well, sure. Could I have a better car? I mean, we all could, right? But I don't want to overextend myself. I'd rather pay off the things I got to pay, and then every single month, stuff goes into the savings account. And Lance and I know way too many people who live the flashy lifestyle, but every month they go into more and more debt just to keep up appearances. Not good. Remove things bringing you down. Some people just they can't they can't be nice to you at all, or you have good news and they just have to find the fly in the ointment. You don't need that. Because you know what happens? You hang around those kind of toxic people and they rub off on you, they become you. It turns into the point where, if you say, oh, check this out, I just made $100 online, they say, oh, well, that's not enough. You know what happens? Eventually, you'll start hearing their voice before you even tell them, and then they, in a way, become you, and they love that. So you don't need toxic people. You don't need these toxic thoughts. If there's something that's dragging you down, figure out a way to get through it, get over it, whatever that is in your life. Stop with the degrees of doneness. We see this all the time with, productivity and getting things done. Someone says, well, you know what, Lance and Robert, I know you told me to make a sales letter. It's about 55% complete. Well, what the heck does that mean? Like, you got to stop with this percentage of stuff that's done. It's done or it's not. Me and Lance say, well, let's make this product. And my first immediate thought after that is, how do I make a workable version 1.0 in the shortest amount of time? Right? I say make a 5-minute video showing the inside of your membership site. Well, just make it. That'll take you exactly 5 minutes. Could be better in the future, yeah, but you made version 1.0 for now. Now, consistency. We say this all the time, marketing wise. You need to email every day. You have what's called a list of email subscribers. Some of them got on your list because they bought from you or they asked for something for free. Email them every day instead of using these traffic methods that don't work as well, like Facebooking and tweeting and stuff like that, and all these getting backlinks and search engine optimization. A lot of it's basically voodoo. And what has worked the best out of everything, out of all the possible things you could do in a day, is sending emails. Build the list because 1% of your subscribers go away, erode every day from unsubscribes, bounces, all that good stuff. And so I don't want to get too advanced, but let's say you have an email list of 1,000 people. Okay, so that means you have these things called free gift pages. That means that people bought, courses from you and stuff, and then they ended up on an email list where you can send them updates or other offers. They can always jump off. But say you say, all right, I've got 1,000 people. Some of them bought from me. Some of them signed up for free stuff. Well, if you check that, tomorrow, 10 of those people are going to be gone. So you'll be down to 990. Check that again tomorrow, you'll be down to 980. And if you build a bigger list, well, then you might have hundreds or thousands of people dropping off. But the point is, that's fine. That's a better problem you've built up to. You need to replenish or more than replenish those people you lost yesterday. That's just how it is. We like to run launch campaigns. So I don't know how many lists you're on, email lists, you're probably on quite a few, right? And you know how some people, they disappear for 2 or 3 months and then they come back and it's like, whoa, I think I remember this guy's name. I'm trying to think of how I got on his list. I don't really remember clicking from him. Or some people, they'll mail for something and say, I got this new course. It's $1,000. Go buy it. And then tomorrow they're like, okay, here's this other $7 course. It's like, but I thought yesterday you were mailing for this $1,000 thing. Now you're mailing for some other $7 thing. You know what that tells me is they promoted one offer, it didn't sell, then they switched gears. So what Lance and I like to do instead is, if we have something we're promoting, whether it's, a blog post, podcast, free webinar like this, a course, we email for it several days in a row. We make a whole campaign about it just because that's how it needs to be. People need to be followed up and need to hit them multiple times. It's like if a movie's coming out in a year and 6 months, they don't just run one commercial. They do this whole campaign. They follow up with you over and over and over again. You might have heard with internet marketing and product creation and membership sites to do something that's hard for others but easy for you. For me and Lance, WordPress plugins are, like we said, all these different niches. If hitting a golf ball really far is easy for you, hard for others, takes a lifetime to learn, but you could put together a 20-minute or a 60-minute video showing someone how to double their distance or accuracy or whatever it's called, then that's something where people are willing to pay you money in order to get those answers. So you want the intersection of something that's fun and easy for you, but also profitable and interesting for others. And then finally, now that you got your mindset figured out and things are simplified and you're consistent, we want to give you the right tool. Because here's the thing, is that you could the other obstacle you run into is, you could have yourself all figured out, right? You could have stuff all simple and you could be the happiest person in the world, but that's not my department. That's not what I know about. I know about making money. I know about having an internet marketing presence, getting traffic, making online sales. So at the end of the day, we want you to make money. We want you to have your own business, and then whatever you do in your personal life, personal time, that's for you to do, right? But we're on this call for internet marketing to make money. And so if you're still, editing HTML pages by hand, I remember 1995 also. I remember Microsoft Front Page also. And the way to do it now is this thing called WordPress, just because you can point and click. You don't have to know too much, and you can, use any kind of like these beautiful designs they have. If you want to set up a message board, job site, pop up, you click a button, you install one of their plugins. If updating your website's a chore, if someone ever said, you know what you got to do? Just make a blog and post to it every day, 6 times a day. Make a membership site and charge $10 a month and post to it every day. Well, that's fun for about a week, if not less. But then 6 months later, I got to think of something to write about. And I have to spend all this time every day. Alarm clock goes off. Got to do the same thing over and over again. Post to the blog. I'm not even sure if this is making me money, but I'm going through the motions. Doesn't that sound like a job? Doesn't that sound like being a cubicle zombie once again, where you just repeat the same thing, it's not really paying off? So what we like to do instead is, if you don't like updating your website every day, and some days we don't, we use this thing called WordPress to schedule out or drip our content. And if these are videos in a membership site, we can schedule those out. Then they just drip out normally. If these are, free public-facing blogs we use for backlinks and search engine stuff, I mean, that's a nice little boost, but I don't want to spend all freaking day on free traffic that might or might not pay off. So I want to just load up a ton of stuff. It schedules, it drips out. So it's no secret. I'm going to use this tool of ours called WP Import to show you how easy it is to schedule and set all this content and all these things in any kind of site you have, whether it's a public blog or a private membership site. And we're going to show a bunch of different scenarios. I hope I have time for all this, but I just want to get those 4 quick actions out of the way. Take care of yourself, simplify, be consistent and unpredictable, which means that you have these different, campaigns you email every day, but you also keep them guessing, and then use the right tool. Because, I mean, WordPress or any tool that you use can help you or can hurt you. Right? Could you say, well, cool. Instead of having to code web pages by hand or figure out all these things or hire a designer or a programmer, I can just plug into these tools. But on the other hand, now I have to research these tools. And don't you ever find yourself going down the rabbit hole? You said, well, I just wanted to make a web page, and now I'm learning CSS3, whatever the heck that is. Now I'm learning child themes, whatever the heck those are. Now I'm learning responsive themes. This isn't what I got in business for. I just wanted to teach someone how to play guitar. I didn't want to have to become a programmer. So here's where Lance and I can help you, is to use the right tool we have for site building, which is this thing called WP Import. It's a WordPress plugin. I know most of you know what WordPress is. Actually, can you go in the question box and type in the word WordPress if you know what WordPress is, just so we know, get basically a head count of who knows this and who doesn't. If you don't know what it is, if you know what it is, I mean, it's a tool, it's a platform, right? The same way that you might use Mac, you might use Windows, you might use HTML. It's just a tool to do it, and it's a keyword, and that's all there is to know. And so basically you can make any kind of site where basically you have like a blog, right? An online journal. And what I can do is I can go to even my site like robertplank.com, and you know what it is? It's just a diary that everyone can see. And you have, all right, on April 27th I posted this thing, on April 18th I posted this thing. You can have different, pages on top, but I mean, that's all the website is. Website is a freaking diary any way that you look at it. So we use this plugin, and so if you want to just load up a bunch of posts, you just say boom, 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 boom. I can put them all in at once, and I'll show you this in a minute. And you can say, I've got these 100 posts, and I want to put out one a day, and I want them all to come out at 5 o'clock in the morning, or I want them to come out at different times during the day, or I want to make them all diary entries that go from top to bottom, or I want to make them pages that go left to right, or I want to give them all the ability to comment, or if I don't want to have to send traffic every single day, I just say, well, let me just post this, like here's this one, this Amazon FBA one, and I just wrote what I wanted to say, and no one can leave a comment. There's no rule saying that if you post something on the internet, someone is allowed to open their Yapper, right? You can just say what it is you want to say, and then that's all there is to it. So we can, have all kinds of control if you know what these things called categories are. We can preview it. And you know what? I really want you to follow along, and I'm going to put this in the chat box. I want you to go right now to wpimport.com. So you can go there. There's a $7 plugin right there, and I want to do this with you and show you some of this stuff, because most business owners are spending tons of time, energy, and money spinning their wheels, writing articles, scheduling them out, trying to please the search engine gods, which change day to day. They'll say, oh, guest posting's dead. Now guest posting's not dead. Meta tags are dead. What are meta tags? But now they're not dead. H1 tags are dead. Well, now you got to use H2 tags. People try to find all the loopholes, and you know what too is that you're never going to please the search engine gods. The way you're going to rank is, to be honest, out of luck, by putting out enough things, and then Google will say, well, when people search this phrase, they end up on your site, will give you a boost. Okay, so if you're worried about this thing like panda or penguin or hummingbird, you're superstitious about WordPress, and you say, I don't know, I heard that I should use Joomla, or I should use something else because that gives me more of a ranking, and then tomorrow then it changes back, right? If you're worried about what will Google think of this, I need better link baits. Will I be penalized for using words like or share in my post? Will I be out of business tomorrow? Well, here's the thing is that, first of all, your business should not depend on someone else's business like Google, because Google doesn't care about you, and Google in a second can put you out of business. And I mean, haven't you heard about people kicked out of Google AdSense, kicked out of Google AdWords in a second, and then their whole six-figure monthly business gone? What Google really wants, what any search engine wants, is for people to go to their site, they search their site, they get answers fast, and that means relevant content. That means that they search how to play guitar, and then people are looking for a course on how to play guitar, or they're finding your free video, and they go there and they found what they want. And once Google sends you that traffic, then you can get them on a list, you can get them to comment, get them to like, get them to buy, all these different things. But it means to Google, they search this thing, end up on your site, it's easy to navigate, and you can easily, quickly get to the point. And so Lance and I want you to not worry about the technical stuff and just get some of that search engine content out there, right? And we're going to do it using this WP Import plugin, where you can, if you happen to have your post in the text file, or you have zip files, and if you don't know what that is, we'll show you really quick. You just say, all right, I want to load up these posts once a day, once a week, once a month, in the future, in the past. Dump them all in today, doesn't matter. You choose what time of day, pages of post, comments, categories, you preview it, and it's done. So this is a tool called WPImport.com. We're going to show this right now, and we're going to show you this thing called the SEO blog. Because I know the next thing is, all right, well, I know I should have a website, but I got to write some stuff. I don't know if I got to hire writers or how to do this. Well, the good news is that all the content you want out there on the internet is already available to you. I mean, haven't you heard of these sites like, what's it, Huffington, if I could spell it, Huffington Post? Huffington Post. Can't type today. All right, Huffington Post. And all this site does is they just report on other people's stuff. They say, oh, well, some political blog posted this. We'll just tell you about what they said. They're like the game of telephone, but on the internet. Have you heard of this site called BuzzFeed? What they do is the same exact thing. They say, oh, CBS reported this, or TV Guide reported that, or here's about all these facts that everyone else reported. They just combine everyone else's stuff. So it's totally okay, and in fact, welcome for some of these sites to load up helpful content, because, with all the social sharing and all this, all these internet hippies are kind of on the right track. They say, if someone puts up a really helpful article or a really helpful video on how to play the guitar, well, then that should be shared around as much as possible. And so Lance and I have some of these kinds of blogs, and we call these SEO blogs, where we just have all this free stuff. And so the idea here is that people search around on the internet and they find a site like Income Machine/blog, and we have hundreds of blog posts on here. And so every single one of these is a possibility for someone might search a phrase or a keyword, end up on our blog, get what they wanted to know, and then say, okay, cool, now that I got that first problem solved, now that I know how to set up a sales letter, I want to buy the course on sales letters. Now that I've got this time management issue figured out, I want to buy this course on, now that I have this time freed up, I want to set up a online business. So we want people to get to our site, but the problem though is, well, sometimes it's easy to lose track of these sites, right? It's easy to forget, like, oh yeah, I set up that blog a long time ago. So you know what we can do? Well, let me show you, and let me share with you what we can do, because we can use these sites like Easy Articles and YouTube, and they have already created the content for us. We just have to share it. So that site, Income Machine/blog, is there to get free traffic. Is there so that Google ranks us, so that people can take an article and post it on Facebook or tweet about it, so that if someone is looking for the answer to setting up a blog or an autoresponder, they search in Google, Bing, and Yahoo, okay? Or we make a guest blog post on someone else's site, or we run Facebook ads or things like this, or affiliates blog about us. And there are just hundreds or tens or thousands of ways for people to find it. So doesn't it make sense to have lots of like what we can call link bait, so that we have a site called Income Machine, and people might be searching for any of these different phrases: how to accomplish things, prevent burnout, build a marketing relationship. We don't know which of these will pay off, and that actually will change over time. We put out enough stuff where that there will always be a steady flow of traffic coming to our site. So if someone searches for how to drip content, we want someone to end up on our membership cube site or a WP drip site. If someone searches for WordPress sales letter, well, they're probably ready to buy something, right? We want them to, they already are knowledgeable enough to already have something that's WordPress, and they want to be able to sell things online. Well, cool, we have a blog and plugins for that. If they want an opt-in page and follow-up sequence and search that phrase or go to webinar, we can catch hundreds of these little repeat searches. And I mean, here's what I mean. I can go to google.com and I can search for drip content. And, you know, these all change, but almost the whole front page is, well, the first one is one of our blogs. It's our sales letter. It's my blog. So if someone's searching for drip content, they end up on our blog and then scroll down and end up opting in and or buying from us. If someone searches for WordPress sales letter, then we're ranked number 2 right there. If someone searches for opt-in page, follow-up sequence, then we show up there. And I mean, might someone type squeeze page or autoresponder sequence or should I get eye contact or Aweber? Well, yeah. So that's just one more blog post or article we have, and one more of the many hundreds of ways someone can find us and end up back on our site. So they search one of these phrases, they visit our blog, and they get on our list or buy or both. So that all sounds great. You know, in a perfect world, well, sure, I'd have thousands of articles. I'd have thousands of ways for someone to find me. Well, how do we get the content? Well, here's what I want to tell you right now is there's a site called easyarticles.com. They allow you to copy, you know, anyone's submitted article onto your site as long as you leave their byline and a link on there. And so what you can do is just go to the site, grab 10 articles, schedule them out a month apart, and now you have a blog that puts out one piece of content for 10 months. You can go on this site called YouTube. Ever heard of YouTube? Where you can search on, if you had a blog on organic gardening because you had a ebook or a course or even coaching on organic gardening, you find videos on how to grow tomatoes, how to grow cucumbers, how to grow asparagus, schedule them 3 weeks apart, and now you just have this website that pays off traffic-wise for months and years to come. And then what you can do is then adjust the dates so that you can have a bunch in the past, some in the future, so that you're not just this blank, you're not just this blog with nothing on it. You're not this blog where suddenly you put up 1,000 pages. Over time, it plays out. And I mean, let me do that because you know what, to be honest, I was looking at this Income Machine blog and I mean, I know we hid the dates on this, but it's a little bit out of date, and I want to have this get more traffic. So here's what I can do. I can go to the site called Easy Articles. I can go to the site called YouTube, and I can basically let me think of a few questions someone would have, right? So we have this thing about web hosting, opt-in page membership sites. So we might have questions like, what is the best web hosting? We might have questions about what is the difference between an autoresponder or autoresponder follow-up sequence and a broadcast? What's the best time of day to email? We're thinking about just some really pressing questions that our future customers would have. They're stuck. They want to get this one small problem fixed. They come to our site, it's fixed, then they buy from us. So I might say web hosting, and I might find the answer or think of some other questions. So people will say, how to choose a good web hosting plan. So sure, I'll open that in a new tab. Choosing the right domain names, I'll open that in a new tab. And then is all web hosting PHP web hosting? Cool, I got 3 of those. So according to the rules of this site, Easy Articles, I can grab this person's article as long as I leave their name and as long as I leave whatever they have, this web hosting company in India. Okay, and sure, we do now provide a link back to this person, But I mean, they get one link, we get 10 or 20 links on our site. This other one, Joseph Mark George, um, he just has a tiny one. And what's funny too about some of these articles is some of these people don't have any link. But in this case, we have 3 articles, 3 different people, 3 different links. So what we can do is scroll down to where it says eZine Publisher, and I'll go to the bottom of each of these, eZine Publisher and eZine Publisher. So we can go and we can grab, I like to grab the HTML one and just, that way I get the links and all that stuff. So we can just copy these 3 articles and schedule them out on our sites, and that way we have all this content. We don't have to do anything, right? So I go to, let me log into my Income Machine blog. I think I have a login. So cool, that works. So I'm logged into this site, and then we can see, do I have anything scheduled? Nothing. So everything that you see is everything that we have. So I say, okay, well, cool. I want to take this article. I want to take this one. I want to take this one. Great. What do I do? Well, I have to go new post. I have to put in the title. I have to put in the thing. I have to choose the category. I have to turn off comments. And then say, all right, also I want to change the date it appears in. So it's probably going to take me a few minutes for every post I want to put on there. I guess I can do that for if I'm just doing 3 posts, but what if I've got 5, 10, 100? I don't know. It's a lot of work. Well, we have our plugin called WP Import that fixes all that. So let me see if we have it on there. We'll have an old one. Let me take that one off. Let me get the latest and greatest one for you. So if you haven't used WordPress, you just point and click around, and you don't have to know any way of transferring files. Just click and add these things called plugins that let you do different things. So I can go plugins, add new, and I will go upload, and then I will browse to this thing I have here that says WP Import. Okay, so I can install this, and give me a second, and let me make sure I have the check the other window. Need to get my password figured out here. So we just clicked on and we uploaded this plugin in about 2 seconds. That is called WP Import, which allows us to just bulk load a bunch of these posts at once. So I can click on activate on this thing, and then I will go to change everything right here. Let me put in my information really quick, and let's see. So basically, we have this WordPress site. We added this plugin called WP Import, which once again you get at wpimport.com, and we have all these different things we can set. And so basically, we can take all these articles we have, put them in what's called a zip file, upload them, and schedule 10, 100, 1,000 different articles. Well, I don't have that. I do have these 3 tabs, and I want to put some content on my blog. What do? Well, we can say enter post manually. I'll click on the next button and see what it does here. It says, well, cool, what's your first title? What's your blog post? What's your next title? What's your blog post? And we can go back and we can say, well, I want to put this in the web hosting category. I want to post these. Well, I don't want to post the first one today. I want to post this one maybe a couple weeks back, and I want to post each of these articles a week apart. All right, and I guess if the posts on morning, afternoon, night, don't really care. But now I can say, well, I want to start posting in all these posts, and I want to enter them all here. And so here's what I can do. I can say how to choose a good web hosting plan. Whoops, I think I have to copy the title there. So I'll right click and copy that, and then I'll go to WP Import, paste in how to choose a good web hosting plan, and then I will copy, where's this? The article right there. Oh, got to do the whole thing. All right. Paste it right in there. Take out that stuff. All right. And then we can go to the next one, choosing the right domain names, and paste that one in there, and then grab the other stuff. And so we're saving a little bit of time here, right? Because we don't have to go post, add new, post, add new. We just say, cool, boom, I want to put 3 things in here. And we can right now what we're doing is we're having the first one appear a couple weeks ago, and then they're spaced a week apart, so then another one will appear probably around today or tomorrow, and then another one will appear in a week. So I mean, if we wanted to, we could say, all right, well, these are going to start appearing, years ago, or they can start appearing today, and they'll just drip out for every week for the next year. Any way you want to do it, and the way it is right now, see, one comes out May 1st, May 8th, and then May 15th. So we can just go to the bottom, and we'll say continue, and then so check it out. So now we have these 3 blog posts, and I can go to visit my site, and if we go there right now, we'll see that. So the one about domain names and reseller web hosting appears right there, and our footer link appears right there. And because WordPress, it does this thing where it like pings other sites, so in a few minutes this will actually appear in search engines. We can like it, tweet it, all that good stuff. And then if we look at our scheduled posts, well, we can see that, so see these 2 are already live, and this next one is appearing into the future. And we can do the same thing by doing this thing like going to YouTube, and we can say I want to search, I can say I want to search Aweber. And if someone has a video on how to use Aweber, well, I didn't have to make that now. I can just share their video, and I can just go and right click and copy this, and then by putting it on your WordPress site, the whole video will appear and all that good stuff. So we can go back to WP import, and we can say, well, I want to start posting this in a while, like on June 1st. I want to post a new article every 5 days. And so what I can just do is I want to put this in the web hosting category again, and with comments off. And then what we'll do is I'll say enter these manually and preview it, and I can just go and say, all right, here's that YouTube video, and the title of that, whoops, if I can find it, is how to use Aweber. And we can even change that, but I mean, just to make it simple, how to use Aweber, and then we can just pick all the YouTube videos you want. So just that alone is a huge time saver, because you don't have to go post, add new, figure out title, article, category. You figure out how it's all spaced out. You say title, post, title, post, title, post. And then if you want to go back and later and edit the dates or edit the categories, you can, but it's scheduled, it's done, it's on there. So that is how we use our plugin called WP Import. Just by having this SEO blog, we grab a few things off of a site called Easy Articles, grab off of a site called YouTube, and we can either backdate or front date posts for all these years. And so that's the plugin that we have. It's called WPImport.com. You can upload text or zip files in the browser, specify the dates, time of day, pages or posts, comments on or off, all the different switches and settings. But the point is, you can say, boom, 5 articles, 10 articles, blog posts, they're all on there. You preview it, it's done. You can get it, and you will get it right now at WPImport.com. So you know how we said that we asked these questions? I mean, that's the mindset you have to have when you're looking for, especially free traffic, is that people are out there and people are searching for, and what do we say were some of our phrases? Like if I go to Google and I say, well, someone says the difference between GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar. If someone's they're at this point where they're like, well, I'm about to buy one of these, but I don't know which one, and we've fallen in the rankings a little bit because it has an old blog post, but we're ranked for the difference between GoToWebinar and GoToMeeting. And so could we write 5 articles on this that kind of take different angles? Well, yeah, we could, and we use this site called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. So this is a site where people will do anything for $5. You search for article, and you go, and we're going to sort by high rating. And this person will, like, well, some people do the submitting, but we have people who do like 400-word articles, 500-word articles. And I like this person. I think her name's like Natasha Nixon or something like that. There we go. 400-word article on time and where it's free. 12,000 people have bought from her. You think she's good if she's done 12,000 articles? I think so. So what you do is you just go and say, all right, so let me read this. So we need 400-word article. And so what we'll do is we'll just buy, how many do we have? we have 3 questions. So let me just buy 3 of these. So I can say, all right, I want to get 3 articles, $15. Sure, I'll take it. And then after we buy, they'll have basically a form to fill out. They'll have a couple of questions for us to answer. So I'll go ahead and pay for this $15, these 3 articles. And now these are 3 new ways someone can find me. So I'll click on Pay Now. And then once we're checked out, return to Fiverr. And it'll probably need a second to catch up after we've paid. Then it will have these questions that we have. So yep, hold tight where we create the order, but as soon as the order is done, we just give our article writer these 3 questions. Then they I gotta log in. Whoops, I have to log in. All right. Once we're logged in, then it will say, all right, so I should have a message before I start. Need more information. So format order. So what I'm saying is, I would like articles written answering these questions. 3 articles total. And then I'll just paste in. Boom. Please use the keywords you are comfortable with. And that's the guidelines, all right? So send. That's all we had to do. Say, right, answer these 3 questions, and then those will be blog posts that I can then use. So pretty easy for us to do that. And so that is a business model called article outsourcing using Fiverr. And so, we've done all that stuff, but so here's the thing is, if you're the kind of person who doesn't like writing, you're saying, I gotta write 200 words, 500 words, that's really slow. You might have heard about this thing called dictating articles. We like to do that. It's faster, but it takes a while to get into it. It takes some practice. So the best solution is what I just did, pay somebody $5 for an article. So, I mean, that's the thing is if you think that over time it'll lead to 1 or 2 or 3 sales and you've multiplied your money, so all you need is just think of 10 questions that an interested party would have on your website. What's the best kind of guitar? What's the best song to learn on guitar? Should I buy this kind of guitar or that kind of guitar? And then have someone just write an article about that so people search in Google, they end up on your site, and then they go to wherever you want, opt-in page or to buy. You can look at competitor articles if you need to. So you go on to like Easy New Articles and search for guitar to get an idea of what people are writing about with guitar, right? What's good about kinds of guitar lessons, how to learn blues guitar, 5 songs to learn, how to improve electric guitar. So there you go. There's a bunch of ideas right there. You search Fiverr, you type an article, and narrow down to the highest ranked people. They deliver in 1 to 5 days after you buy. So the person I just paid, they're not going to come back today, but probably early tomorrow. And then what we can do is we can compress into what's called a zip file. You use WP import, you set your settings, and then you schedule it. So here's what I want to show you now is that, so we have this site called WP import. So those of you who've gone to WPimport.com, you end up in this members area where it says, here's the WordPress plugin. And then what we also give you as a special bonus just for being our best friend are these things called private label rights articles. We give you articles where you have the rights to these things. So you have 22,000 of these. So you right click and save it. And I've saved this onto my desktop. This is PLR Articles version 2 basically. And it's got these different folders on health, computers, so it's just another great way to fill up extra content. So I can right click and I can extract here to my desktop, and as that's going, we can see the kind of stuff that it's giving us. So we can have hard drive recovery, PC security. So here's what's cool is I can start a blog right now and I can say, well, this blog's all about PC security, and it's got these different articles, like this one's about Department of Defense crackdown on security. We've got parental peace of mind. We've got how to stop spam. So all kinds of different things. And we can just say, all right, I like all these articles and I'm going to use them all in my blog. So I can just highlight what I have in this folder here. I can right click and then say add to a zip file. So add to pcsecurity.zip, and it will go ahead and create that. And actually, I think, yeah. So and if you don't have that menu, I think you can select and do a right click, send to compressed folder. Let's just say it's that. Right click, send to compressed folder, and it'll, squish it all in together. And then what you have is this thing, this zip file, and then we can just rename this and we'll just call this PC articles.zip, and then we'll drag this to our desktop. That way we can easily find it. Okay, so I know I kind of zoomed around really quick, but we just took the articles we had rights to and then put them into what's called the zip file, just a nice little package. So I can say, here's my new blog that I just created. All right, nothing on it. It's got this hello world. I can go into the back end, and I want to add all these articles, but I don't want to go add new, add new, add new. I don't want to have to even paste in a list. I just say, I've got them. I can see them right here. I just want to put these, however many these are, 26, 25 articles, onto, well, I think that's stuck there, onto my site. So what do? Well, it's pretty easy. You go to Plugins, Add New, and you install our WP Import plugin. So I'm going to upload. I'll go to the import plugin. I will install this. And once this comes up, then I'll activate it. So activate plugin. And then now that it's activated, I'll go to the screen for that. And same kind of thing, right? Only now we're going to say, I want to upload these articles. So I'll click on Choose File. And then, where did I put this? I put this in. So I've got this PCArticles.zip. So remember, I highlighted all these text files, put them in one package, one zip file. I can say, I want to give you the zip file, and I want to post them. I don't want to look like I just fell off the truck today, so I want to put this back. You know what? I'll put this back a year. I'll do something crazy, and I'll post this every 4 weeks. In the one category I have, turn off comments. So there we go. I'm going to upload these articles and let's see what happens. So I'll click on preview and just to see what we're going to end up with. I can scroll down and check that out. How freaking cool is that? So I can easily see all the different things, and this is going to come out. Well, these are all in the past, right? So we're going to have all these ones from December, January, up until the present day, up until the future. And so if I wanted to change all these at once, I could, but this looks pretty good to me. So I'll just click, and by the way, let me show you the before picture before we commit to this. So we have our membership newbie site, hello world, nothing else on it. And then we can say, click on continue. And then boom, 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 all those posts are on there. Now I'll go back to the site and I'll refresh. And then, well, we need to get the hello world out of the way. But look at this. Now we've been around since 2013. We've got get into the zone. We've got a different bullet points. And it looks like we made all this stuff. So, I mean, the point is, if you get content from Easy Articles, YouTube, go, pay someone to make new stuff or get the PLR articles from us, just load it up, look at all that. I mean, how much time would that save you having to do all these things? Instead, you found the right tool for the right job. You found exactly what it is that you needed and what you're going to use. So that is how we can do these things, like use a site like Fiverr to outsource it, or buy an article pack. So this is a plugin called WP Import, and it's starting to kind of make sense now, right? If you have a zip file, so you can just have a group of these text files, put them all together, put them on WordPress. I mean, this thing should have been built in, but it never has been. I don't think it ever will be, but our plugin lets you do this. So you can specify what date and how often, whether you paste it right in or put it in a little package, what time of day, all the different settings, you preview it, and then boom, it's on there. So you can buy a PLR article pack. We have 22,000. So I know everyone's always worried about this thing called duplicate content, and don't worry, we're going to explain that in about 10 seconds. So people out there allow you to buy the rights to packs of content. Okay, so let me pull up something. We can go, so like on Fiverr, we can pay someone. We can go to a site called master-resale-rights.com, and then we go in there, and there's a category for somewhere. So we can just say articles, right? So you can buy the rights to articles. So we can buy diabetes and arthritis articles, yeast infection articles, digital camera articles. So we can say, all right, well, I kind of like these camping ones. So if I have $1.69 in pocket change, then I can go and buy these 10 articles. And they're pretty meaty on all these different things: fun foods for camping, great camping experience. So for $1.69, now I can have 10 months of content. Now I can load them all up, and then those are all on there very quickly. And so here's the thing, is I know that, and even in the question box, people are freaking out, duplicate content. Didn't I just say that Huffington Post makes a full-time living with huge office buildings based on reblogging and reporting on other people's stuff? The Associated Press or PR Web or press release sites are all about copying and sharing content all around, because if something is good, they want it to get passed around. And this whole thing with duplicate content is Google, they just don't want you to have one website with 1,000 copies of the same thing, right? They want to say one copy of this article, one website. And so if one copy of an article is on 1,000 different websites, then to them that means this is good because people are sharing this around. This is popular. People want to know this. So duplicate content, don't worry about it. Just get it scheduled so that you have these other ways for people to find you. And here's an extra bonus, is that you can buy these article packs for $1.69 and then save the table of contents. Here's what I mean, is I can go right now and I can go and add this to my cart and buy these 10 articles and schedule them. But you know what I can do now? Is I can go back to my Fiverr site. Remember that person that would make articles for $5 a piece? I can say, right click and copy, right click and paste. Here are the articles I want written. Write me an article about bugs. Write me an article about what to do while camping. Write me an article about what to do when it rains. So instead of you having to rack your brain and think of these questions, they've already done it for you. So it's almost like you're the CEO, right? You went out there and did your research, have someone else do the dirty work for you, and then the technical part that used to be the big time suck, well, you just use this plugin and get them all scheduled right in there using our plugin called WP Import. So you can buy an article pack, unzip it like we did just to see what we're dealing with. Once you see a group that you like, well, then you can just zip it all in there. And so here's something that's also kind of cool, is I can even search these. So if I was going to search for like just all the articles on spyware, right? I can do a search in this top right corner, and you can see the progress bar is going, and as soon as that's done, it will spit out all of the, check this out. Now we're just getting the articles on spyware, so I can select these. I can right click and send to compressed folder, place this on the desktop, and did it make it? Here we go. Antivirus programs will rename this to spyware articles. And so now we have another pack of articles, and we can just use our WP Import plugin and just plop it all right on there. So pretty cool stuff right there. And so once again, this is our WP Import plugin. And the final thing I want to show you today is this even works in membership content, in membership sites. Because what we can do is we can go to, let me just go to, I guess I'll go to our Income Machine course. So we can go and we can log into a membership site of ours we have called Income Machine. And if we wanted to add in some extra stuff, some extra bonuses to drip out, well, what's the difference? It's still WordPress. Whether it's a public blog or a private membership site, let me see if our import plugin is on there. It's not. So I will click on Add New. I'll go to Upload, choose File, and then the file I want is our zip file. Install that thing, and once that's on there, I will have the ability to bulk load all the stuff that I want. So we can go and put in our details right there, and let me make sure that everything's working. So activate the plugin, and then we go to WP Import. Cool, all ready to go. So what we can do, and you can see that it added this new thing where we can say, all right, well, either I can upload or put them all in, and I want to say, well, now I have these things called membership levels. I can say only these levels have it. right? So I can say, all right, well, anyone in the Member Genius level gets access to this bonus content or not. So even if you have a membership site where you have things that drip out every day or every week, it's the same thing. It's still a WordPress site, whether it's a paid or a free site. So WordPress, I mean, it's time just to get over the fascination of the technology. It's a way to manage your content, whether it's a public blog or a private area. If you're worried about refunds and membership sites, well, then drip extra content, extra videos, extra articles, extra downloads. If you have one of these monthly sites that needs more bonuses, then go and buy the rights to something or get something created or have some videos and use WP Import to just drip all these content out. And this works whether it's just written articles. Someone in the questions asked about if there's images. So if you want to put in image tags in there, great. If you want to put in download links, audios, videos, it doesn't matter. It's all just the content. It's all just if you have 10 to 50, 100 different posts. If you have them created or you go buy them, you use WP Import to get it all in there, whether it's to fill up content or even get paid to maintain sites. You can go to someone and say, for X number of dollars a month, I'll add 10 articles a month. So then you go get 10 articles made, use import, get them all uploaded. So WP Import, you're starting to see now, you can upload a text file or zip files or paste them in from the browser. It's all just a way to bulk load hundreds of articles. You specify all the stuff like date, time of day, pages of post, category, you preview it, and then boom, it's done, whether it's 10 or 100 or more. Okay, so this is WP Imports. And I want you to go get it right now at WPImport.com. It's a simple WordPress plugin that installs in a couple clicks on your blog. You've seen I've installed it about 5 times today. And now you can upload, if you happen to have like just one text file, right? If you say, okay, well, I want to upload just this one online streaming article, I can just upload just this one file, one at a time. Well, you can also group them together and say, I want to just select these 100 articles. I'll drip them out a day at a time. So for the next 100 days, something new will come out every single day. Hands-free, I can get back to what matters in life. Whether these are articles you've written, paid to have written, found for free, forgot about, bought the rights to, either way, a couple clicks and it's all in. It saves you hours of all this time scheduling content, and even if you outsource already or you're planning to or thinking about it, it still saves you lots of money because you can say, load them all in there, load up the truck, I don't have to do anything. The aggravation you save by going post, add new, title, category, all the stuff, click, adjust the date. You save at least 10 clicks every time you put something on there. So I personally created this plugin. There's nothing else like it on the market. I've used it repeatedly for years to instantly populate membership sites, SEO blogs for traffic, just get a pack of articles made, dump it all in, and it's all on automatic pilot. I mean, isn't that what you've been promised this whole time with internet marketing? Set it and forget it, push the button, sales come in. Well, here's how to do it. WP Import, just load up your blog and then it all drips out. The most time consuming part was putting in 5-10 minutes in each thing. So in the past, I've only offered this as a bonus to my $97 or $997 training courses, but you can get it right now at WPIMPORTE.com. I want to give you a great deal today, so let's slash the price to $47. And you know what too is I know that a lot of people on this call are either in a hurry or your previous buyers, or maybe just heard of us. So I want to give you WP Import for just $27. So remember, you upload a text or zip file, specify date, time of day, pages of post, category, preview it, and it's done. You get it at WPImport.com. I created this 4, maybe 5, 6 years ago now. I need to check the exact date, and I've been updating it ever since. So just because it's been around a while doesn't mean it's broken. You see, I've been using it on the latest and greatest WordPress sites. Upload a zip file of articles, blog posts, video code. You can bulk enter content manually or just give it a package of a zip file, whether they're posts, pages, drafts, categories, levels. It's all customizable. You can backdate them all in the past to give you an instant web presence, drift them out in the future, space them out an hour apart, a day apart, weeks apart, months apart, any way you want to do it. And guess what? It now includes 22,000 PLR articles. You have the rights, so you can do whatever it is that you want with them. You can put them on there for free, put them on there as paid content. So here's the thing. Is it worth $497 to fill up a membership site quickly, or $297 to be able to have all of your articles you've written in one place? I mean, I know that I've had to go and grab these from Go articles, these from Easy articles, these from other blog posts, just to have them all scheduled out in one place. Is it worth $197 to schedule out a year of blog posts? Just grab, 6 Easy articles, 6 YouTube videos, boom, it's all on there. What about $97 for the 22,000 PLR articles? What would that be in cost per article? I mean, that's like fractions of a penny each. Would it be worth $47 to be able to use this on unlimited sites? Well, how about this? $37 to stop worrying and to get your blog working for you for a change instead of you working for it. What about $27 for 1 full year of updates and maybe more? Well, you know what, too? Saw someone in the question box, a few people saying, are you going to have this at $27 for the next few days? Well, I'll do even better than that. It's just $17 to shortcut months into minutes, and even $7. Yes, the price is down to $7 now. This is like an auction, but backwards, but going down, right? Do I hear $17 or hear $7 to get back your business and your life? It's just $7. So claim yours right now at WPImport.com. Go ahead, download it, do it right now. Go there right now at WPImport.com. I'll go there right now with you. WPImport.com. WPImport.com. It's a $7 plugin. Don't let that fool you, though. It packs a big punch. You saw the things that it does. You load up a bunch of articles, paste them in any way you want to do it. $7 to get the plugin to install an unlimited number of WordPress blogs that you own with 22,000 PLR articles, and to get a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. And that's all there is to know. Go to WPImport.com to get this plugin. You upload the files you want, specify all this stuff, and get back to what really matters in life. I'm Robert Plank from WPImport.com. We're closing down this call. Go there right now. Don't wait. Get it right now. It's just $7. WPImport.com. WPImport.com. I'm Robert Plank from WPImport.com. And thank you. Grab it, download it, use it right now. WPImport.com. Thank you.